Obviously, this is very tough for me to say now, but I will be retiring from boxing after tonight.
By round 11, Canelo has only thrown 7 jabs. How you, as a world champion, you can't win a fight like that.
Terence Crawford was actually countering. He would just sit there, wait, block, and then boom.
With Canelo, he wasn't throwing combinations. He wasn't using his footwork. He rarely ever used a feint, and that's why I think he got outboxed. Henry, you see him, once he gets in his stance, he stands right there to where he doesn't have to be mobile.
There's like a moment of wait, right, where he's there and he sits there a little too long. He needs to inch into that line and bah! He's probably gonna have to get a black trainer, man, for some time.
Wow.
He has to because Mexicans box different. De La Hoya to pick up his skills and to understand a lot of his competition. He got Mayweather's dad. It's time to call Terence Crawford once again, pound for pound.
I agree with you. Terence Crawford is pound for pound best boxer right now.
What happens when the biggest name in boxing decides it's time to walk away? Canelo Alvarez, the face of an era and one of the sport's greatest champions, has officially called it quits after a devastating defeat to Terence "Bud" Crawford. This isn't just about losing a fight, it's about a legend stepping away, sending shockwaves through the boxing world. Today, we'll look at what happened, why Canelo made this choice, and what it means for the future of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, Canelo is more so into training, probably fighters and helping people. You know, it's like he already did what he needed to do. There's nothing really more he can do in the sport. It's really up to him, though, like if he wants to continue or not. But I think that he wants to probably go into the business side and start helping.
Canelo Alvarez entered the ring against Crawford as a legend, a multi-division world champion, and the longtime pound-for-pound king who carried Mexican boxing on his shoulders. But when the fight ended, it wasn't his hand raised. Crawford pulled off what many believed couldn't be done. He outboxed, outclassed, and humbled Canelo on the biggest stage.
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
This loss was more than just a mark on Canelo's record. It signaled the end of an era. He had always been the predator, the dominant force under the spotlight, but against Crawford he looked slower, less sharp, and for the first time in years, vulnerable. In a surprising turn, Canelo announced his retirement, explaining that he's given everything to the sport and doesn't want to continue if he can't remain the best. True to his pride, he refused to be remembered as a fighter who stayed past his prime. With Crawford now being hailed as the new pound-for-pound king and exposing the cracks in Canelo's game, the timing felt inevitable.
Was how strong you looked, how strong you appeared to be. How much do you think that shocked Canelo, considering the fact that you were moving up to 2 weight classes to fight as a super middleweight for the first time in your career when this was his 12th fight at that weight class?
I think, you know, it shocked him tremendously, you know, given the fact that his coach said that, you know, he felt like I couldn't hurt Canelo with anything and Canelo can hurt me with everything. So I think, you know, they put that in his head. Then when he got in there, he was like, whoa, you know, they lied to me. This dude can punch.
For years, fans debated whether Canelo was starting to slow down. The signs were there. His struggles against Dimitri Bivol, harder than expected fights with John Ryder and Jermall Charlo. But no matter what, Canelo always managed to pull out the win. That was until he ran into Crawford.
Do you see that fight now differently based on how Canelo performed against Skull Eddie?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, wow.
It wasn't just the fact that he couldn't cut the ring off. I just feel like the timing now, the age, Canelo is amazing. I mean, not just because of his ability and what he's accomplished, but the fact that he still has the desire for those
That defeat pushed Canelo to face reality, and his retirement leaves a huge void in boxing. He was the sport's biggest attraction, filling stadiums and headlining million-plus pay-per-view events. Whenever Canelo stepped into the ring, the world tuned in. Now that era has closed, and it looks like Crawford may be the one carrying the torch forward.
You know, you said something about what fighters go through, and you've seen enough guys that the game is taken from. It's a hard game to get through. Can you get a better ending than tonight? I mean, really?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the top of the top. You know, Canelo is, you know, an all-time great. Like I said before, he's the last one.
He was the A side of the age.
There's no more Canelos, you know. So, there's no more. So, you know, when you look around, you say, I'm the Canelo. You know, I'm the face of boxing now. And I'm the best pound for pound fighter in the world, like I always been. You know, just gotta wait and see.
Here's the wild part. Canelo's exit changes everything. Fighters like David Benavidez, who chased him for years, just lost their golden ticket matchup. The same goes for Jermall Charlo, Edgar Berlanga, and many others who dreamed of landing that massive Canelo payday.
Terence Crawford versus the Mexican monster David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. Dude. The reason why he was up because nobody wants to fight him.
That's a big dude. And to be honest, Terence Crawford's 37 years old.
It's about merit. Could I get to the generational talent, as he said, with Manny Pacquiao? He's an 8-division world champ.
If it ain't no big name, Terence, do what you do, bro.
And no major boxing story would be complete without Oscar de la Hoya weighing in. He quickly took shots, claiming Canelo's team protected him for years and avoided making some of the biggest fights to keep him from being exposed.
I did see him slow down. I think his feet were a little slow. I saw his left hand was a little hurt. I don't know if it was from an injury beforehand or, but I did see something in his left hand. Given the fact that it was an 18 by 18 ring, which gives Canelo the advantage and he couldn't stop him. I mean, it goes to show you that, you know, his abilities are still his abilities, but in his mind, he wasn't confident enough to go out there and just knock him out. But when he dropped them, you just go after him, throw a barrage of punches, and the referee stops it, especially if you're in Mexico. It goes the 12 rounds, and he's going to get the criticism. He brought that upon himself.
Things got even messier when Oscar claimed Canelo paid people to cover up issues, including whispers about performance enhancers, especially since fighters from his camp had tested positive before. He argued this retirement isn't just about age, but about avoiding further exposure. Believe Oscar or not, Canelo's decision has only fueled every rumor and criticism tied to his career. And then there's David Benavidez, who's been calling Canelo out for years and dismissing the hype. After the retirement news, Benavidez flat out said Canelo avoided him his entire career.
If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off
You think
steroids.
he's on steroids?
Of course.
For sure.
How does five?
You saw De La Hoya call him out.
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids?
Right.
You know what I mean? No, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
The feud between Canelo and Benavidez is undeniable. Canelo always rejected the idea that he was ducking him, but now Benavidez has the ultimate card to play. He can forever say he was the fight Canelo never wanted.
What I wanted to tell you guys too, I mean, this guy, he's making the most money out of everybody. He's charging you guys so much for the pay-per-views. It's like he's spitting in your guys' face, saying that he doesn't give a f what you guys want. He's not going to give you the best fights. He's going to fight the fights that he wants. In my opinion, that's a little bit disrespectful to the fans, but he has cult-like fans that, you know, they don't tell him shit and they're happy with whatever he does. But at the end of the day, if you hold all the titles, you got to fight the best in the division. I'm number one in the division, number one contender. The second one is David Morrell. He's not fighting me, nor he's not fighting David Morrell. So it makes no sense. How is he going to call himself the champion and have all these belts if he doesn't fight the number 1 or the number 2 guys. Guys asking $200 million. Why, when they bring my name up with him, that's the most money he's gonna make. When he fought Amir Khan, he outweighed him at like 25 pounds. But, you know, I think it's just he's running out of excuses and running out of things to say, but that's just how it is. I guess that's when you're the cash cow, you do whatever you want.
That's the toughest part for fans. We'll never get Canelo versus Benavidez, never see him try to avenge the loss to Bivol, and never witness a 4th showdown with GGG. Those what-if fights will always hang in the air.
All right, we're coming in. He's with me. This whole group.
Instead, Canelo's final image in the ring will be Crawford outclassing him. For some, that's a bittersweet ending, while others see it as the perfect passing of the torch from one pound-for-pound king to another. And make no mistake, this win changes everything for Crawford. He wasn't just chasing legacy, he was chasing immortality. By defeating Canelo Alvarez and sending him into retirement, Crawford cemented his place among the all-time greats.
Is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford.
He did it in classic Crawford fashion. Slick, calculated, and ruthless. Once again, he proved why so many believe he's the most complete fighter in boxing today.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not Kovalev.
Kovalev was older.
He
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo going?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching him, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
With Canelo stepping away, Crawford now stands as the face of boxing, and the wild part is, he's nowhere near finished.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm gonna let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101, set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks, all right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him, not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe to toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Let's be honest, part of Canelo's choice likely comes down to business. He's earned hundreds of millions, headlined massive events, and built an empire. Why risk all of that chasing fights that could only hurt his legacy?
Because if he loses against Crawford, what people gonna say? He lost to a smaller guy. Where that's gonna put him amongst all the Mexican, greats? Where's that gonna put him? Oh, he lost to a smaller guy in Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Most skillful guy on the planet. They don't look good, right? So I think this fight is harder on his career than a Benavidez loss. Way harder. Way more to lose. Way more to lose, bro.
In many ways, he's following Floyd Mayweather's blueprint, stepping away while still on top financially, even if his performances aren't at the same level anymore.
Crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
The reaction across boxing and beyond was unanimous. Crawford showed he's on another level. Israel Adesanya called him the cleanest fighter in the sport, pointing to his flawless fundamentals that make him nearly unbeatable. Evander Holyfield agreed, saying it wasn't about weight but pure skill. Even Soulja Boy, who had backed Bud from the start, celebrated the win non-stop.
I wanted Crawford to win. Yeah. That's who I wanted to win. So everything is all good. Las Vegas, we do the same thing every time. You know what I'm saying?
How impressed were you by Terence last night?
I was very impressed. The combos, I loved it. You did what I'm saying? Bop, bop, bop. I said, hold on. Then he went back. Bop, bop. I said, okay, it's real. You feel me? Yeah, man.
What you want to see next?
Next, I want to see
1 second, bro. You see him?
Soulja Boy in the boxing ring.
Who do you think Terence should fight next up?
No,
Do you think he's greater than Floyd, in your opinion?
Have a good one, boss.
I think that everybody got their own name. Everybody got their own shine. Yeah. Much love.
Thank you, bro.
Caleb Plant also praised Crawford, admitting that while Canelo is world-class, Crawford is on another level. Keyshawn Davis said it all came down to speed, which made Crawford untouchable. Even Floyd Mayweather chimed in, posting a photo cashing out after betting big on Bud, a stamp of approval that carries serious weight in boxing. And perhaps the boldest reaction came from Bill Haney, who claimed Crawford made this fight look even easier than his domination of Errol Spence.
You said fight him and you've seen the result.
Exactly. And you guys knew what was going to happen. You were in denial. That shit looked easier than Earl Spence. Did look, huh?
It's a brilliant performance. Brilliant
performance. Man. Shout out to Team Crawford, Bo Mack, and that whole team, man. You know what I mean?
Where'd you rank him all-time list after that?
I mean, put his face on Mount Rushmore. You get what I'm saying? He deserves his place, for sure.
That wraps up today's video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.